I'm Jason UFC, and today we have a story about UFC heavyweight contender Tom Aspinall admits the greatest of all time, Jon Jones, is his dream fight. That's something special. UFC heavyweight contender Tom Aspinall has his sights set on the new UFC heavyweight champion Jon Jones. The British fighter Aspinall has been out of action since his clash with Curtis Blades last July. Just seconds into Aspinall's fight with Curtis Razor Blades, he suffered a knee injury, and as a result, Aspinall lost by first round stoppage, ending his five-fight winning streak in the octagon. During the winning streak, Aspinall picked up wins over names like Alexander Volkanov and Andrei Arlovsky. Due to his injury, the 29-year-old Aspinall has been out of action since July 2022, but is already working towards a return. While Aspinall is aware he won't be returning for a title shot, he's already imagining a fight with the new heavyweight champion of the world, UFC heavyweight champion of the world, Jon Bones Jones, famously claimed the vacant heavyweight championship with a first round submission over Cyril Gane at UFC 285. During a recent appearance on the MMA Hour with Ariel Helwani, Tom Aspinall admitted a fight with Jon Bones Jones is his dream matchup. While the Brit is hoping the fight will happen, he's unsure it will. Aspinall opined that Jones could retire after a win over Stipe Miocic in July. Now with Jon Jones, it's difficult to make an argument against him being the greatest of all time. Tom Aspinall stated on the MMA Hour. Jon Jones is special. He is special, and for him to be the champ of my division right now, like, that gives me an unbelievable amount of motivation. Let's be honest, I probably won't fight him, but to just have the aim for it, that's something special for a guy like me. Aspinall said, I think he'll probably face Stipe and leave it there. I don't know if he'll start fighting up and comers like me. Maybe I'm wrong. That's my dream fight, honestly, to fight Jon Jones. That's a serious motivation for me since he became champ. I guess that was 74 hours ago. I know it was like only a week ago. So I was saying, like, hold on, he's like, it's a great motivation of his life, and it's like it was like a week ago. But the greatest of all time is the champ of my division. I mean, you have to love to see this new spark in the UFC heavyweight division. It's kind of ironic because a lot of people are saying when Jon Jones was in the light heavyweight division that there was like no really motivation, there was no serious contenders. But it's so interesting to see that a week into Jon Jones becoming heavyweight champion in the world, it seemed like it lit a spark almost under all the heavyweights, right? Like, they all respect that Jon Jones is there, and it seems like all of them are just like, listen, now it's time we really gotta step it up, right? Because it's Jon Jones, and you know, it's cool to see people calling him the greatest of all time. It seems like there's not that much of an argument against it anymore. But it's also interesting to see that Tom Aspinall has kind of said same thing that I believe Dana White just recently said about the Stipe Miocic fight, that I think Dana White said he wouldn't be surprised, don't quote me, but I think, a lot of people are saying that they would not be surprised if Jon Jones, after defeating Stipe Miocic, that he retires from MMA. I got to be honest, something about that, I don't really know if that's true. I get he would probably accomplish all of his goals, but Jon Jones, I mean, he just left the sport for 3 years, right? Like, you think he's just going to come back, win 2 fights, and then leave again? Like, I feel like even if he was to leave, what's to say that Jon Jones wouldn't come back in 2 years, right? Or 3 years. It's like he's so good. Like, Jon Jones is, he defeated Cyril Gane within like 2 minutes, right? Like, it's just like if this was a movie and you had a fighter who literally stopped fighting for 3 years, comes back and fights the former interim heavyweight champion of the world in a new division, right? Like Jon Jones wasn't a heavyweight 3 years ago. He was a light heavyweight. You know, he's come back and fights that guy in a new division and defeats that guy in under 2 minutes and becomes the undisputed heavyweight champion of the world. You wouldn't believe it was like this movie is fake. Right? You can't make this stuff up. So it's so surprising. And even 2 weeks now later, people are still just like, how did Jon Jones do it? So part of me feels like if Jon Jones defeats Stipe Miocic, that's a good win, but he wouldn't have the record for all-time UFC heavyweight defenses. I feel like he would probably go for that. Like, I feel like Jon Jones is probably here for this year and at least next year. I wouldn't be surprised. I know one name that Dana White kind of threw out there that was, kind of interesting. Not that it's possible, but just a little bit, MMA fun. Brock Lesnar, right? Like, there's a lot of up and comers, right? That Jon Jones could fight, but let's just be honest. If Jon Jones runs through Stipe Miocic, and the UFC is throwing out contenders like Curtis Blades or Sergey Pavlovich or Tom Aspinall, UFC fans would be like, hey, what about Brock Lesnar, right? When you want to see that? I think some people would want to probably see that fight, right? So I personally, I obviously have no inside information on this. I would be a little bit shocked if Jon Jones defeated Stipe Miocic and retired after that, after what, maybe 2 rounds of fighting after 3 years. I feel like Jon Jones may be in it for at least this year and next year, maybe, right? 50% of me feels like, he's going to probably go for the record. Other 50% of me feels like, yeah, once Jon Jones defeat what some people would consider the greatest heavyweight of all time, Stipe Miocic, there is, quote unquote, nothing left, for him to fight for. But, we'll see. Let me know your opinion of this story. Do you think Jon Jones is going to retire after the Stipe Miocic fight? Do you want to see Jon Jones versus Tom Aspinall? Do you want to see Jon Jones versus Sergey Pavlovich, Curtis Blades? Who else is out there? Brock Lesnar? Let me know your opinion of this story. I'm Jason, UFC. Today we had a story about UFC heavyweight contender Tom Aspinall admits that the greatest of all time, Jon Jones, is his dream fight. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the $1 donation button, and please tune in to the next video on this channel. Thanks a million for watching.